Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of Inside the Den. Today we're going to take a look at NosTale, and this is a free-to-play, it's kind of a cross between 2D, 2.5D and 3D fantasy MMORPG. So let's get started. You can see here there's one server and you've got several different channels to choose from. We're going to go ahead and jump into channel 1. It's normal, the other are smooth. What's really great about it is once you do get into the game, even the normal one you'll see is actually packed with players, so it's kind of cool. So I do have one character, level 11, you can see right there. You can see I've got a couple of pets. We're going to go through the character creation process so you guys can see what that's about. Now when you do start the game, you start as just a basic adventurer. So you can see right now we can start as either a male or a female. We're going to go ahead and go with female, why not? And we'll give her a little bit of long hair. And you've got 10 different hair colors that you can choose from, like that. So we're going to go ahead and go with, you know what, let's go with the purple right there. And then let's go with our usual name. And there we go. Let's create our character. There we go. So we are created. And we're going to go ahead and select her. And we'll get started. And sound gives that little picture sound right there. And there's a little bit of a cutscene. And as you can see right here, we'll talk about this real quick. There are acts. There's several different acts in the game. And it's kind of cool because it gives like a really cool storyline that you can follow. And you can follow each act's storyline. But we're going to skip by this. You guys can watch this. Actually, we can't escape by it, so I'm actually going to pause the video and then start it back up because I don't want to spend a lot of time in the video just with a cutscene that you guys can watch on your own. And I also have the sound turned down a little bit, so you guys want to turn that up so you can hear the epic music. So we'll be right back. So there you go. We're actually, we got through that cutscene. I didn't realize that while I was telling you guys about that cutscene, it was actually showing you my character just standing right here. So I did check that out, and so I apologize for that. So you guys are going to have to go back and watch that cutscene, but you'll be able to check it out and see what I was talking about. But like I said, there are different acts, and you'll be able to see how that all plays out. We do have this kind of cat-like female character here that kind of walks us through the basics. So let's see what she has. I'm the mentor, the clerk in Nos Camp. I'm glad to meet you. Job introduction to all my recruits. And as I said, everybody starts as an adventurer. You can see there's a bunch of other characters in here. You can see they're all kind of dressed differently. Basically, a lot of them are in different stages or levels and stuff like that. And essentially what happens is you've got two different levels. You can see down here in the bottom right, left-hand corner, you got level 1 and then job level. And as far as that's concerned, what you essentially have to do is once you get your combat level or just your level up to level 15 and your job level up to 20, they level in conjunction with each other. So it's not like you have to level each of them individually. You're then able to select your first job change, and at that time you'll be able to select either a swordsman, an archer, or a sorcerer. And then over the course of time, as you reach certain benchmarks in the leveling, you'll actually be able to change and progress through their job advancements into different things that are along the lines of swordsman, archer, and a sorcerer and stuff like that. But let's get through this and start running around. So I hate all these long boring stories. Alright, here we go. So let's get started. No, special powers only so far. And she kind of walks us around in different stuff, so it's kind of cool because you can bust through those kind of dialogue scenes real quick, and then it'll jump right to this stuff. Now everything is moving around with point and click, so there is no actual moving around with WASD. As you can see, I'm pressing it right now and I can't move around, but I can move around with the point and click. You can see some of the cool people in here and some of the different pets that they have and stuff like that. He named his pet Rocky Balboa, pretty funny. So we're going to cruise down this way, and you can see just tons and tons of players actually running around, and that's pretty awesome. He's got a little pirate bushy guy with a little pirate hat and stuff like that. So pretty funny, some of the different things, and you can even see some of the cool little outfits that different characters have and stuff of that nature. So the first quest we have right here is, you can see in our quest window, let's bring that up, we need to hunt 5 baby dander. So here's the baby dander, and you can see we've got one, we can shoot a slingshot, and then we've got a little biscuit. So let's go ahead and shoot our slingshot. We can fire that out there, and we can continue to fire, or we can go ahead and just double click and start beating on it with our little club. So let's bring up our inventory so we can see what we have. Actually, right now we have nothing in our inventory, so let's go ahead and bring up, it's our character sheet. And where's our character sheet? So they changed a bunch of stuff than the normal MMO stuff. So while we're gonna jump up, actually let's get up real quick, get our character up, T, and start fighting right there while we press around some of the interface buttons. U is actually brings up the character info here, and everything is down here at the bottom in these little tabs. So you can see character, quest, family, and then here's the act I was talking about. So as you go through the act, there's I believe there's 4. There might be 5 now, but I believe there's 4. And then as you progress through the act, different portions of this will complete and stuff of that nature. So, and you can see right there, there's the quest that we have, the 1 that we have. So we're going to continue taking these guys out. We've got to take out 3 more while we look at our character. And you can see my character, my name, I'm an adventurer. You can see all the different statistics based upon different things, archery, attack grade, and you can see all my gear. I have a piece of wood basically. So, and there's some gold on the ground that I want to pick up. And we're going to take out, I think we've got a few more of these to go. Let's see, we've got 2 more to go. And because I'm basically level 2 and I suck, it's taken me a lot longer than I want it to just take out these little baby danders. So, but this is the last one. You can see all their hit points and mana and stuff like that is all displayed right here. It doesn't take too long. You can hold down your right button and you can, you know, move around in the area. Now, one thing that's kind of interesting is the game does have a little bit of date behind it. So it didn't used to have this, but at least now it has widescreen view, but still the widest screen is 1440. So it's not the full 1920, but it still looks pretty good. I have it stretched out to 1920 right now, and it still looks pretty good on my screen. So we completed that quest, and there we go. We deserve it. Click on reward, and we're going to go ahead and confirm, and let's click on rewards. Yep, I want to get the reward. So there we go, and we got training uniform and general costume. So more adventures in your future, companions to support you all the time, and this is going into the pet system. So the game does have a pretty cool pet system. Essentially, any monster, you can essentially capture them, and you can actually take them. You have a little land called Mini Land, and you'll be able to actually, in that Mini Land, create your own house, decorate it, stuff like that, and then you'll also be able to go in there and keep all of your different pets in there and then pick up different ones as you go along. So it's talking about how you go ahead and, here we go, talking about capturing a monster. It's pretty easy. You basically just take and let's pick up our gold. So we're going to go over and capture one of these chickens. So there we go. So we've got our capture right there in the R. So we're going to take him down a little bit, and essentially once it turns yellow, I believe, there we go, so our red, so now we can capture him. So there we go, we've captured our first pet. We've got a little chicken. Let's learn a little more about pets. All right, end conversation, and there we go, we got a bunch of gold. So right here it says, you know, F1 to 3 gives individual control, and you can actually control your pet. So you can select to control your pet by selecting F2. We'll do that in a second. Or you can control click them, and you can actually run around as them. You also have advanced pet control where you can actually attack with them or immediately stop attacking or stuff like that. And then you can send pets to designated places. So let's confirm and get that gold. And then let's go ahead and select our pet. And as you can see, I've selected the pet, and now I'm moving around as him. I can go ahead and have him just start wailing away on this baby dander. And then I can select back to myself, and while he hits on that, I can go back over here, and I can start beating on this guy. So it's kind of cool. You can actually have your pet attack one thing and you attack another, take them both out, and you get the experience for both things. So, and also you have it dropping different stuff. So let's go ahead and pick up the gold there and pick up the gold there. And the game is pretty cool. It has a nice progression process with this red arrow above your head. So it kind of moves you around to different characters or NPCs in the game that the game wants you to talk to and that become important throughout your gaming. Here's the mini land I was talking about. We can run in there real quick and take a look at what you can do in here. And you can see it's kind of a blank slate right now, but you can take and you can build a house and build housing and put little mini games in there and invite your friends to come play your little mini games inside the housing area. So pretty cool little system. And also, like I said, you can put all your different pets in there and house all your different pets and go in and switch to them and and use different ones at different times for, you know, different, whether it's a dungeon or an instance adventure, or if you're going out to a certain area, or if you just get to the point where you're done using your chicken and stuff like that. But as you can see, the game is really, really populated. You can see there's a lot of people here. I mean, right there, she's level 58. This little cowboy dude, he's level 82. She's 85, 49. So there's a lot of different level progression. 71. You can see a lot of different level ranges as far as these people are concerned. You can also see their different outfits and stuff like that. There's just tons and tons of customization, so to say, as far as that stuff is concerned. But we need to cruise over here real quick and just get to this little designated spot that the game wants us to go to. And it's down over here, if I remember correctly. There we go. So, kind of in the middle of all these little cute monsters that we'll end up beating on, I'm sure, at some point in time. So there we go. We've completed our quest. Pet will help you with quests. Let's go on a quest with your pet. Alright. Devil creatures found in and around the village borders are not very strong. I almost forgot. Put on this training suit before I leave. It's for your own safety. Alright, so let's get out of here. So we got that. Let's go ahead and bring up our character and bring up our inventory, and we got our this little training uniform. So we'll go ahead and put that on, and you can see it changes like the shirt color and stuff like that. So we need to, let's see what we need to do here. We need to hunt three weak Seedle. So are these little guys? There we go. They are. So we go ahead and we just start attacking them, and our pet will jump right in. You see this little icon shows up with the two swords to show that he's fighting away. And see, they also level up as you go along. So it's kind of cool. You can see their level here, right above, you know, kind of in the same place that yours exists in. And let's take out this guy, and let's pick up this gold. It's pretty crazy, these little guys. He's carrying 25 gold. Kind of weird to think this little, he almost looks like a little mini propeller, or it looks like he has one of those hats on, you know, those hats with the propellers and stuff like that kind of clowns wear. So we completed that quest. Alright, much safer. Weapon is a wooden stick. So she's going to give us another weapon as a reward. So let's look at the rewards. Yep, I'll come get that. So there we go. We got a wooden stick, which is a little bit better than the one we have now. So we can go ahead and equip that. Need more skills. And the game does have a lot of skills, and they have a pretty cool skill system. They have, you know, your basic skills and then your plus skills. You can kind of do a lot of skill combining. And what's cool is once you take and you actually progress to your new job, you're actually able to get all your points back as far as that you spent into skills, so you can reallocate them to your new job's skills. So, but we're going to go ahead and learn a little bit more about skills over in this direction. We just need to follow our little arrow here, pass through the warp tower, and it's up over here. This guy's got a cool little like bear ghost above him, so that's pretty cool. And it's kind of cool. You can see these giant glowing circles to tell you where you need to go. So Nos camp training. So let's start dialogue. And you can see he's got a bunch of different stuff he wants to tell us. Training influences, about the different types of training, basic, intermediate, and advanced, and then about the base skills you'll use later. And you can see to learn a base skill, a certain amount of gold and CP are required. Also, you have the corresponding job level to learn it. So let's keep going through that. Okay, I understand. And let's go farewell, and let's actually see what we can do as far as, oh, there we go. He's going to tell us a bunch of stuff. How exactly are these really low prices? Depends on the skill and the conversation. So there we go. It's talking about education. So you can see you can learn from Calvin Coach the basic skills. Let's move on from this. There we go. So here's our basic skills right there. So we've got the beginner course for strength, speed course, intelligent development, and hit point recovery. So, and then you also got your regular skills, which right now is the swing, the shooting, the slingshot, and then the capturing, and then you got your motion, which is all your different emotes and stuff like that. And then, like I said, you can use these plus skills, and that's kind of, you know, to combine different skills and stuff like that. But let's see what we can learn from this guy right now. So refreshed and powerful. Importance of training. Undergo training you won't forget for the rest of your life. All right. Thanks. Learn the attack skill. You better warm yourself up first. Why don't we go hunting for a while? Alright, show some improvement. I will immediately teach you some attacking skills. So you can see right now, go hunt dander, And what do we have here? We've got education. There we go. So we've got the basic skills, and it's kind of cool. You can see job level. You can see what job level you need. I need 4. Actually, I just got level 4, so I have job level 3 and level 4, so that's why I can't learn that skill yet. You can see I'll be able to do strong hit and target shooting once I get level 4 and stuff like that. So he basically just wants me to go beat on some stuff, some danders essentially, before we can level up. Let's see if we can get in here. And I believe these are the danders. Yep, they sure are. Now, one thing that I've kind of found to be a little bit interesting is once your pet's here and you kind of got everything close quarters, and you see you've got so many different monsters in here, and if you've got a lot of stuff going on, it can get a little bit difficult to target and do different things, but it's not too much of a big deal. And also, if you kind of get your icon on see if you notice I've got my icon on the little guy, but I'm not moving it. So if I go ahead and I don't move my mouse cursor, he'll go ahead and the actual cursor will stay on the monster, so I won't have to keep pressing it. So you want to pay attention to that. It makes it a lot easier to target things and a lot easier to do damage and get through to these different guys. But it looks like I did, nope, I haven't gotten job level 4 yet. I got something else. So we're going to keep wailing away on these guys and take them out so I can get job level 4 and start updating my skills. The game graphically is a little bit dated, but that's not that big of a deal. As you can see, there's tons of people playing the game, and as usual, one of those things where sometimes you see a little bit dated graphics. It does actually make a difference because, you know, more people can play the game. I know I've said this, you know, a ton of times in all my different videos, but it really does make sense as far as being able to do that. The game has a really cool bunch of systems as far as like the skills are concerned. The pet system is really cool. The dungeon system is really cool, the way that it works. All the different items, a really in-depth crafting system. So I mean, if you're looking for another game and, you know, maybe you kind of like the style of like Ragnarok Online or things like that, then this is definitely a game to check out. As you can see, there's a ton of people out there that do play the game, so you're not gonna have a problem finding people to adventure with, join a guild, or do any of those types of things. Sound-wise, the game has a great musical score and, you know, really well done sound effects and stuff like that. So from that standpoint, as far as the ambiance and the immersion in the game, I have to say everything is very well done on that level. But I am out of time, so I hope you guys enjoyed today's trip inside the den. Don't forget to subscribe and keep yourself updated as each new episode is released. And if you'd like to play or learn more about NosTale, you can read our full review at MMOden.com or just click the link in the description. Till next time, thanks for watching.